day unlike any other. The streets are empty. The world is quiet. Today, we will not gather together, yet we will discover ways to come together as one. We will press pause and reflect. We will call loved ones to check in and reminisce. We will remember the good times, because so often in this non-stop, forward-looking world, we don't always get the chance to re-engage with moments from the past. The moments that moved us, and the ones that made us laugh. The moments that were simple, special, and serene. Moments you never thought possible. It's time to relive them. Take out those old photos. Look back on those moments. Reach out to family and friends and recall those special times. Because while this intermission in our day-to-day may be temporary, our memories are forever. And until we're ready to set out once again, share your memories, tell your stories, look back, then look on. Tomorrow holds a bold and beautiful promise.
If you're looking for
Miss Max, hello.
Hello, good morning. Good morning, everyone. It's nice to see familiar faces again. Thank you for joining us once again. And sila Sir Charlemagne. Lagi rin niya nagjo-join sa atin. GRT Travel, of course. So, welcome everyone. So before we start, Andres, let me clear. Oh, hi. Before we start, let's document first. If it's okay with you, turn on your camera. And then we can start the show. Good morning, everyone. Hey. Take it first. One, two, three. Hi. Okay. One more time. One, two. Okay. One, two, three. Hi. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Miss Maverick. Okay, so just a reminder, kindly sign up the attendance form. Okay, yung link po natin is already in the chat box. Okay, from time to time po, share din sa atin sa chat box. Our house rules, again, kindly mute your microphone while we are on discussion. Okay, you may only unmute later on during question and answer if you have. Then questions will be entered in the first discussion. So for this one, we will also be giving out certificate of attendance. Okay, however, you should indicate the following conditions. You must sign up the attendance form, then complete at least 80% of the webinar time, also complete the evaluation form. Now, for those who attended the two sessions yesterday, no, I have already sent out the certificates yesterday. So if you think you completed these conditions yesterday and you were not able to attend or to receive your certificate, kindly message me privately. Okay, para ma-check po natin. Right? Yeah. So this morning, ang topic po natin is destination geography. Okay. Yes, for presentation materials will be given out. Right. So nowadays, ano po, travelers are quite informed about geography. So, however, as their travel consultant or their travel agent, they expect us to have more information and knowledge about travel geography than what they know. Now, by studying destination geography, it will help us gain confidence in our ability to sell destinations, answer common questions asked by our travel customers, and uh, by knowing this one, we can provide valuable advice that our customers or clients are willing to pay. So just a short definition of destination geography. So by the name itself, it's the application of geographic knowledge to travel, tourism, and hospitality industry. So by that, um, it means that geography is fundamental in our industry because tourism is geographical in nature. Not tourism occurs in places. It involves movement of people. It involves immersion to different culture, understanding of different characteristics. Okay, so meaning destination geography isn't just about locations, attractions, landscapes, or culture. So it also includes a deeper appreciation of the culture of a particular destination so that our clients can maximize the travel experience. So while we are on downtime, while we cannot travel yet, so we maximize also this time to tool, upskill, so that once we can travel again, once we can resume fully on our business, okay, we can resume better, bolder, and stronger. Okay, so for this morning, our outline includes the following. Okay, first one, we'll talk about the basic concepts of world geography, including the world works, continents and oceans, climate and time zones, no? Currencies as well, three-letter codes, and geographical features. For the second part, we'll talk about destinations and attractions. So sometimes no, we use this word interchangeably. So we thought destination and attractions are the same. So we will define these two terms. We'll give a typology of attractions, okay, and we'll have a run through or we'll have a short virtual tour per se of the major world tourist destinations. Okay, and third part is we'll have a sneak peek of Philippines, right? We have been discussing Philippines region by region already, but with this one, we'll just give a better or a full picture about the Philippines. Okay, so just a trivia din po now about this particular course, Destination Geography. I have taken this one with this course. I have taken this course with Ayata beforehand. So um, I'm sharing it to you what I've learned from them. Ayan. So of course, meron din po tayong pretest. Ano po, it's just a short 5-question quiz which I will be launching now to your screen. Okay, by the way, before I launch this one, baka meron pa po dito kasi na nasa meeting room ngayon or have attended this one during the first run, no? Reminder lang po, this is a repeat run. So if you have already attended, you may not proceed the rest of the session. Alright, so let me launch our pretest. Okay, ayaw ko launch. Okay, there you go. It's already on your screen, so kindly answer questions. Launch on your screen right now. Let's end our pretest. Yeah, let me share to you our results. There you go. So the largest continent for question number 1 the largest continent in the world is, of course, it's Asia. Yeah, so we got it right. Question number two, the most visited country in the world. Okay, majority got it right as well. Of course, it's France. The third question, the largest Portuguese-speaking country in the world. Okay, of course, it's Brazil. And question number four, IATA code for Vancouver International. Okay, there you go, we got it right. It's YVR. Okay, YYZ is Toronto Pearson, and YTG is Edmonton. And question number five, Dubai's time zone, Gulf Standard Time. It's GMT plus 4. Okay, so tanggalin ko lang po ito. And let's proceed. Yeah. So let's start with understanding first our leisure traveler. Because before we can tailor fit, excuse me, before we can tailor fit a tourism product or tourism offering to our clients, it's a must that we should understand what type of travelers are they, what are they looking for in terms of visiting a certain destination. No? So this way also we can better apply our learning on destination geography. So it's a quite a long list, but we'll have a quick run through about this. So first one is the collector. So when you say the collector, ito yung mga nagtra-travel to complete a certain goal. Okay? Um, Apart from the goal of experiencing a certain destination or having to visit that particular destination, but they are completing a certain goal. Like those travelers na locally, yung mga nagko-complete ng Project 81. No, sila yung mga travelers that want to visit all the 81 provinces of the Philippines. Meron din namang mga travelers na kumukumpleto ng Project ASEAN for those who wish to visit all the countries in Southeast Asia. Then we have travelers who wish to step on all continents of the world. And the extreme ones are those who wish to visit every nation in the world. So the collector tawag doon. The next one are the backpackers. So when you say the backpackers, ito naman yung mga travelers that are visiting a destination but they arrange their trip on their own. And usually, most of the time, these backpackers are budget conscious as well. So they look for better deals. So madalas hindi natin captured ito o kaya few components only of their trip ang kinukuha sa atin. Most of the time, it's just the flight. Okay. Next one are the thrill seeker. So when you say thrill seeker, these are travelers that are looking for destinations that can give them adventure activities, or those travelers who are looking on the extreme sides of visiting a destination. Like they want to do a bungee jumping in Macau Tower, no, as simple as riding a hot air balloon in Turkey, or those who wish to level up their diving activities by visiting the Great Barrier Reef in Australia or doing whitewater rafting in New Zealand. Okay, so those are the thrills. Okay, the fourth one are the party goers. So these are travelers that are more interested on the nightlife scene of a certain destination. So these are people who wish to visit um, Las Vegas, Miami. If you're in Europe, the best place for nightlife is Prague, Barcelona, or in Southeast Asia, Pattaya, um, Saigon, kaya Bali. So that's the party goers. Now the budget conscious travelers, okay, so just like the backpacker, most of the time budget conscious arrange their trips on their own. So very few components ang kinukuha sa atin. Then they usually rely on travel aggregators, right? So the budget conscious most frequented destinations include Sri Lanka, Nepal, Vietnam, yan, Cambodia, Laos, Romania as well, Georgia or Czech Republic. So if in the Americas, Mexico, so yung mga puntahan ng budget conscious. So primary consideration as well for budget conscious is the presence of established transport network in the destination. Next, we have the soul searcher. Ano naman itong mga soul searcher? Itong mga ma-emote, nag-emote na travelers? Not really. Okay, so they want to visit a destinations that can give them serenity, or a destination that is not much on the radar or not much frequented, or hindi mga destinations that are not in mass tourism. Okay, or even if a destination is in a mass tourism, so madamihan ang pasok ng tao, they will look for a certain part of that destination to have a serenity or peace. Like countries like New Zealand, Maldives, New Zealand, where they can go on hills. Bhutan as well, wherein tourist arrivals are quite controlled. Yan. Meron din naman tayong tinatawag na the city slickers. So when you say the city slickers, these are leisure travelers who are more interested on metropolis or metropolitan areas, or most of the time it's the capital city. So they don't want to go on the countryside, or they don't want to go outside of the capital. So most frequented destinations include Seoul, and Tokyo, Beijing, Dubai, also of course London, New York, or Los Angeles, or just Manila for that matter. Next are the culture vulture naman. So these are leisure travelers who are more interested to experience and immerse themselves on the culture of a particular country or destination, as to the religion, the cuisine, the way of life. Yun yung gusto nilang makita. So most of the time they go on the countryside. So siguro they will just spend a day in the capital, then the rest of their itinerary experience nila sa countryside. But of course, you need to be specific then when you give an advice for a someone who wish to experience a culture. Let's say somebody wants to visit Vietnam, so you cannot just suggest na you go to Saigon, or yeah, you go to Ho Chi Minh for you to experience the authentic Vietnamese culture. No? When you go kasi to southern Vietnam, or to Ho Chi Minh, Saigon for that matter, it's kind of westernized na yung area na yun. So parang wala na siyang pinagkaiba to Manila or to other uh, capitals or to other destinations. So might as well you suggest you go to Hanoi. You go to the northern part of Vietnam, wherein their traditional or authentic culture have been more preserved compared to the southern counterpart. No? You go to Brazil as well, or Thailand. So deep ang preservation kasi and conservation of culture sa mga countries na yun. Now, there are leisure travelers as well that are interested only to the cuisine or dishes of that particular destination. So, pumupunta sila sa isang lugar just to eat. So, the foodies, tawag natin doon. No? So, most frequented destinations, of course, Japan, Vietnam, Thailand, Singapore. They want to experience the Hawk culture. Of course, if you want to experience a more elevated cuisine, high-end or buffet cuisine, of course, Europe, France, or Italy. Then Peru in South America, which was adjudged as the best culinary destination last, I think, 2018. Okay, the next one are the nature lovers. So these are um, leisure travelers that are more in the ecotourism side. They want to see, for the most part, the beauty of nature. So most frequented destinations include the Pacific Island nations, kasi surrounded by waters, um, South Africa, Kenya, yan. Because they want to see more of the wildlife. But of course, you have to be specific as well. Kasi with our age now, with our modernization and urbanization, most of the countries are already highly urbanized, particularly in the capital. So you have to be specific as to which part of a particular country they must visit for them to see the ecotourism side of that destination. Let's say but somebody approach you and ask you they want to go to Malaysia to see the nature, or to experience ecotourism in Malaysia, then you cannot just suggest go to Kuala Lumpur or go to the um, surrounding areas of Kuala Lumpur, because that particular side of Malaysia is highly urbanized already. No? So Malaysia kasi dalawang side, the peninsular Malaysia and the Malaysian Borneo. So peninsular Malaysia nandun na ang Kuala Lumpur, while the Malaysian Borneo Okay, dito lang sa baba ng Pilipinas, no, kung saan nandun ang Sapa. So, Kota Kinabalu for that matter. And Sandakan, in the rest of Malaysian border. Yeah, same with again Vietnam. So if they want to see more of the ecotourism side of Vietnam, ito sila sa northern part ng Vietnam punta. No, Hanoi all the way to the north. Yan, papuntang Sapa Valley, papuntang Ninh Binh, and other areas in the northern part of Vietnam. Now, we also have those we call the pilgrims. So these are leisure travelers who wish to see the origin of their faith, no, who wish to visit those religious sites, like those who want to go to Vatican, those who avail packages for Holy Land, okay, which includes Israel, Jordan, and Egypt, and for our Muslim brothers, those who are attending pilgrims in Saudi Arabia. Okay. Now, we also have those functional leisure travelers. When you say functional leisure travelers, they visit a particular destination not to see the attractions, but to witness a certain event or to attend an important event, like watching the Olympics, which was supposed to happen a month ago or 2 months ago in Japan, but was canceled. Okay, those who want to watch Broadway shows, say in the United States, or those who want to watch the finals of World Cup. Okay, so those are functional travelers. Now, meron din naman tayong the shoppers, or these are leisure travelers who are more interested in shopping, of course, may it be on the bargain side or in the luxurious side. So most frequented destination includes our very own Manila, Hong Kong, Italy, France, Thailand as well, United States, Japan, Korea, Japan,
Very good.
tapos okay. Yeah, so luxurious. Now moving on to the solo artists. So these are travelers, of course, that are traveling on their own. Now, personally, I can say I'm a solo artist. Never been that I travel with somebody, okay? Unless mga official travel ko, mga travel outside the country. But for the most part of my travel, mga leisure travel ko, lagi akong mag-isa. Okay, I just don't know. I'm not really comfortable with somebody else while traveling. Not that I'm antisocial, no, pero I think kasi I can better manage my trip, my time, whenever I'm alone. With exception to those destinations na hindi talaga pwedeng i-travel alone. Like in China, this part in China, yung sa lower part, Hainan, also Jeju in Korea. So kailangan laging naka-group. Okay, Holy Land as well, although wala namang restrictions sa solo travel, kaya lang it's quite hard to travel it on your own. So when I visited Holy Land, so nakagroup pa din naman. It's for some destinations, it's cheaper pa din naman to be on a group rather than doing it on a solo. Okay, then the pioneers. Okay, so these are leisure travelers that are visiting not or off the beaten path. So not really that hindi big sabihin na pioneer sila yung mauuna sa isang destination. Pioneer in the sense na siguro in their circle of friends, no, among their friends, sila yung unang naka-visit ng isang destination. Okay? So most of these leisure travelers are visiting countries in Central Asia because these are not much frequented by tourists. Yung mga stands, Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, and Kyrgyzstan. Also countries in the Pacific Islands where we can find the least visited country in the world, Nauru. Yeah, also Mongolia in East Asia. So for Filipinos, no, Mongolia is not a my destination. Of course, North Korea, since it's quite limited. Then in Southeast Asia, no, for Filipinos kasi when they visit Asia, it's either Bangkok, Kuala Lumpur, Vietnam, or Thailand, or Bali. But most of the time, hindi na pupuntahan ng Myanmar. But tell you guys, these two countries are also amazing. It's kind of laid back compared to the highly urbanized countries of Singapore, Malaysia, but it's also quite good to visit these countries. Also have the clueless, yung bang pupunta sa inyo, magtatanong lang saan magandang pumunta. And based on what you suggest, or kung ano yung available na inyo, yun ay kukunin nila. And also, just like the clueless, the typical ones, so ito naman yung mga kung ano yung uso ngayon or bago sa market, yun yung pupuntahan nila. Like, let's say, bagong binibenta ang South Africa sa Pilipinas, so they wanna try it, so they wanna grab it. Okay? So those are the some, I must say, some types of leisure travelers that we may encounter in the course of our business. Okay? So let me just ask you one thing. Yeah. Okay, let me launch a poll on our screen. It's not. There you go. So yeah. So kindly answer our poll. No, what type of, as a traveler yourselves, what type of leisure traveler are you? So will that apply? No? So kung wala naman yung sagot niyo dun sa question number 1, okay, just check others para mag-move po kayo sa selection number 2. Okay. So personally, aside from being a backpacker and being a solo traveler, no, I consider myself as a collector as well, since I traveled to to achieve a certain goal. Yeah, so before the pandemic, I'm on my way to my project 81. So I have been to 74 provinces of the Philippines already. I have completed my project ASEAN. So I have visited all the member states of Southeast Asia. Okay, and then my last goal would be to step on 7 continents of the world, but it will take a long shot pa siguro. Okay, kasi I'm also trying to visit all the regions of Asian continent. Okay, ayan. So majority have casted their answers already. So let's end the poll and let's share. Yan, may kasamahan akong collector dito. 8 yung sumagot ng collector. Okay? Marami din ang budget conscious. Marami ang foodie. Okay. For the most part naman of travel, no, pinagsasama-sama na sa isang itinerary yung preferences ng isang traveler. Okay. Nature lover, madami din. So actually, majority ng sumagot, nag-cast ng kanilang votes are the nature lovers. Alright? So, yan. End na natin yung results. There you go. Let's move on to the basic of world geography. Okay, so let me ask you guys again another question. There you go. So what continent or continents have you visited already? So is it North America? Have you been to North America, South America, Europe, Africa, Asia, other than the Philippines? For Asia, no, for the Asia choice, other than the Philippines, Oceania, or have you been to Antarctica? If someone have been to Antarctica here, hands down to you. Akala ko Antarctica, Oceania. Keep your answers coming. Okay, we'll end this in 10 seconds. right? So majority of the attendees right now have been, of course, to Asia. So I bet either East Asia yan o kaya Southeast Asia. Then few three have been to North America, three have been to South America as well. Okay, a few have been to Europe. There's two who have been to Africa, and of course Oceania. Wala pang nakarating ng Antarctica. Okay, on to our world continents. Okay, so for the purpose of our discussion today, we will follow the continent rule. Okay, why do I say this? Because some are following the six continent rule and others naman ay five continent rule. But technically or generally in the tourism industry, we follow the seven continent rule. And what are these seven continents? It includes continent and of course South America. We also have Europe. Okay, Africa, of course, Asia, where we are located. Ocean, bottom of the globe is Antarctica. So let's have them one by one. No? Now, according to World Tourism Ranking, the most visited continent is Europe. It may be the smallest, but it's the most visited continent. Sumunod lang po ang Asia. Now, when in terms of Asia naman, okay, hindi Asia ang madalas i-visit. Most of the time, it's only East Asia and Southeast Asia. Then, sumunod na on the third rank is, then we also have South America, then followed by Africa, Oceania, and of course, the least visited continent in the world. Since wala naman din talagang country na nandun doon sa Antarctica, so when you visit this continent, it will just be probably on a ship tour or boat tour. Okay, for the number of countries, okay, so we will follow here the official list of the United Nations. We have 94 sovereign states. So this includes those occupied by some other countries, those dependencies, and countries that are not recognized by the body. So we have 194 states, and there are also observer states, including Palestine and Vatican City. Now, for the continent of Africa, let's have Africa first. Let's watch this one.
Guess which continent is the hottest? That's right, you guessed it, Africa. Africa is home to the largest desert in the world.
It's massive. Its total area spans over 3 million square miles. It's the size of an entire country. Seriously, it's almost the size of the United States. But Africa isn't all sand and dunes, not by a long shot. A little ways south of the Sahara is the Congo rainforest. It's the second largest rainforest in the world, and it's full of life. Mammals, birds, amphibians, and close to 10,000 species of plants. Let's take a quick trip to the African savanna to check out all the wildlife. This tropical grassland covers almost 65% of Africa. And where there's grass, there are herbivores, also known as plant eaters. Zebras, elephants, giraffes, and gazelles all graze off the land in large herds for safety because these herbivores live alongside predators. The big cats aren't the only carnivores in town. Crocodiles roam near the banks of the shore. Hyenas and wild dogs also roam this continent in search of their next meal. Millions of people come to visit the savannah every year to see these amazing animals in their natural habitat, rain or shine. Because the savannah has only 2 seasons, wet and dry. It's not just wildlife that lives here. There's another animal who shares this beautiful continent. Humans. It's hard to believe that one of the oldest civilizations on Earth began in Africa, in ancient Egypt to be exact, dating back over 5,000 years. Today, there are over 1 billion people living on the continent of Africa in 56 different countries, speaking over 1,500 languages, living in large cities and small villages, all are residents of the second largest continent on Earth, Africa.
Okay, so that's Africa.
Guess which
Advertise ating slide. So Africa is officially composed of 54 sovereign states. Yeah, so most frequented countries in Africa includes Morocco, Egypt, South Africa, of course. We also have Tunisia, Zimbabwe, Cote d'Ivoire, Uganda, Kenya. Now, for Filipinos, no, they're not much on Africa, no, because for the longest time we are not connected easily to the continent. While for most of Filipino travelers, kasi iwas sila sa connecting flights. So for the longest time, we only do, or we can only visit Africa by connecting through major cities in Middle East like Dubai or Qatar or Istanbul, no? But we already have a direct flight to Africa with Ethiopian Airways. Isa pang notion is that since it's quite far already, it's a little bit expensive to go to Africa. But previous years, may mga agencies na sa Pilipinas na nagbibenta ng South Africa packages. So, pag ang Filipino nagpunta doon, most of the time, sa northern tip lang ng Africa, either Egypt or Morocco. Okay? For wherein tayo ay visa-free doon. Now, there are 3 countries also in Africa that you can visit with 1 visa only. So, the East African nations of Kenya, Uganda, and Rwanda. So, e-visa lang yon. But it's kind of hard to get inside Africa then because there are a lot of health certifications and vaccinations that we must provide. Okay. Now, this continent, the main selling proposition of the African continent is the wildlife. So, more on seeing wild animals, the savanna, which was shown in our video. Yun yung mga madalas puntahan. Next, let's have the Asian continent.
the largest of all the continents is Asia. Asia makes up 1/3 of all the land on Earth. You'll experience all types of weather if you travel here, with the wide range of climate regions. In Southeast Asia, you'll need a bathing suit on the beaches of the Philippines and an umbrella for the tropical heat and rain in Vietnam. But bundle up when heading north to Siberia to survive the Arctic winds and snow. Then gear up and head to Nepal to climb the highest point in the world, Mount Everest. Over 29,000 feet above sea level, Mount Everest is still growing, nearly 1/4 of an inch each year. On the other side of Asia, in Israel and Jordan, here you'll find the lowest point on dry land, the Dead Sea. It's over 1,000 feet below sea level. It's so salty, you float on the water like a rubber ducky. After some rest and relaxation, set off to see some of the most legendary animals of the world. Giant pandas, king cobras, the Komodo dragon, the Asian elephant, and tigers. Wild orangutans are only found in Asia on the islands of Borneo and Sumatra. Thousands of species are spread across this massive continent, but it's also home to humans. Over 4 billion of them. That's right, that's a billion with a B. Asia has more people than all of the other continents combined. They're living in over 40 countries. 2 of its largest countries are China and India, with populations of over 1 billion people. That's a lot of people. Of the 10 largest cities in the world, Asia has 7 of them. Of the 10 tallest buildings in the world, Asia has 9 of them. Of the 10 largest shopping malls in the world, Asia has all of them. From western Turkey to the eastern tip of Russia, the largest continent spans nearly half the world. It's filled with some of the most unique sights, beautiful landscapes, and amazing wildlife that can only be found in Asia.
Sino to?
Okay, so that's the Asian continent.
Okay.
So officially,
Pwede bang
Asia has
paki-receive yung nasa ko?
47 sovereign
Nandiyan siya
states. No,
ngayon.
most frequented destinations in the
Papay
continent, of
yata
course,
wala.
includes
Papay
countries in
ako
East
sa
Asia
Gcash
like
na.
China, Japan,
Basta
Korea,
may
Hong Kong, and in Southeast Asia, Thailand, Malaysia, also India in South Asia, then Turkey and United Arab Emirates in the Middle East. Now, for Filipino travelers going overseas, no, it's a great market, magandang market sa kanila ang Southeast Asia because it's the closest. Also, East Asia because for most part of East Asia, we can visit it with little restrictions on visa. So, primary consideration din naman talaga natin ang visa whenever we go out of the country. So, as much as possible, we pick visa-free destinations para less hassle. All right. Now, the most visited one is Europe. So let's watch this.
If you love history, then buckle up for a trip to Europe, the birthplace of some of the most famous civilizations ever. Europe is the second smallest of the continents, but for its size and population, it takes third place, right behind Asia and Africa. Europeans live in some incredible places, from the largest island in the world, Greenland, to the smallest nation in the world, Vatican City. About 10% of the world's population live in Europe, from the subtropical beaches of Monaco to the polar tundras of Norway. You have to brave the cold to see some of Europe's natural wonders. Iceland has one of the best views of nature's light show, the Northern Lights. If you are not afraid of heights, head to the border of Italy and Switzerland. You can climb one of the most famous mountains in the world, the Matterhorn. It looks like a giant tooth, right? Some of Europe's wonders were built by hand. You may have heard of a few, like the Eiffel Tower that soars above the city of Paris, France. It was once the tallest building in the world and has almost 7 million visitors every year. Or check out the Colosseum in Rome, Italy. It's the biggest amphitheater in the world, made of stone and concrete and built almost 2,000 years ago. In the 6th century in Athens, Greece, amazing artistic theaters and temples were built. Ancient Greeks loved watching plays and hosting special events to honor their gods. The celebrations held in the city of Olympia inspired the world's Olympic Games. Europe is filled with more than just amazing places and people. It's also home to a few amazing animals. In the western forests of Europe, you may hear gray wolves howling, brown bears hunting, or golden eagles soaring overhead. In Eastern Europe, you may see the rare Euro-Asian lynx and the European bison. On the northern edges of Europe, you may even see a polar bear. Europe is packed with over 742 million people in 47 countries, enjoying beautiful views of mountains and valleys, coastlines and skylines. Europe is full of incredible sights and fascinating cultures. No wonder the most visited continent on Earth is, you guessed it, Europe.
Okay, so that's Europe, again, the most visited continent in the world. So officially, Europe has 44 sovereign states. And the most frequented states, of course, include France, the most visited country in the world. Andyan din ang Spain, Italy, Germany, of course, United Kingdom. No, ang unique selling proposition ng Europe naman is mainly the culture, the history, and the architectural styles or designs na meron sa continent na ito. Almost all of the countries here have beautiful architectural designs that are very great for sightseeing. Now, for Filipino travelers, it's quite hard to visit Europe, one, visa requirements. So for middle class travelers, it will be hard to secure necessary visas to enter Europe. Ano? Then for one, ang notion natin sa European continent is expensive. Well, it's true for the most part of Europe, but if you're keen enough to select a particular destination, also great deals. Particularly sa Balkan, okay, Balkan states, okay, it's a little cheaper compared to the mainstream that's in the continent. Okay, the next one is North America. So contrary to the common understanding that North America only includes Canada and United States and Mexico, but actually the North America extends up to the border of the Panama Canal. Okay. Central American countries, the smaller states, and
Some of the most diverse habitats can be found in North America. Some of the most diverse habitats can be found in North America. From the Aleutian Islands